Hello and today I'm going to be giving you a few pointers, a few tips if you own an Amstrad CPC 464. Right, if you're thinking about buying one off eBay, or if you know someone or anywhere, you got to remember these computers are quite old, and this one's an original, one of the first revisions that came out in '84. So what can I say? It's an old machine. So something this old, you want to really be careful what you, how you use it, and how you look after it. Right, let's first of all talk about the monitor. Back in the day, I had 3 of these computers. One of these, the original, bought in 1985. And the first thing usually that goes wrong with them is the monitor itself. And you need this monitor to power this computer, really. But nowadays you can buy alternative power supply units, and you can run it through your TV. But back in the day, your option was a monitor or a modulator. Stay away from the modulators. They are rubbish. If you want the best experience, then my opinion is go for a monitor. So this is the CTM 640 colour monitor. This was one of the original monitors. You have the CTM 644 as well, which had an additional power supply to power the 664s and the 612.8s disk drive unit. This one don't have that. So you can only use this with a 464. Maybe a 464 plus, I don't know. Plus computer, I honestly don't know nothing about the plus computers. But as I said, this will be probably the first thing that will go wrong. And I had 2 of these that blew up back in the day. Overuse. But if you're an electronics engineer, or you know a lot about electronics, you could probably fix it yourself. But usually if they go wrong, they go wrong. The power goes, so you can't, there'll be no power going into this, but there will be nothing wrong with the computer itself, so don't worry about that. So you might have to find on eBay another monitor, or the cheaper alternative is to get a power supply and run it through your LCD TV or whatever you've got via SCART. I have got the cable, and I will put a link into the descriptions where you can buy one if you want that alternative. Going through the TV is pretty good. If you know, the monitor can also take up a lot of room. As you can see, it's quite a bulk to it, you know. And it's got an handle so you can carry it around, but it's bloody heavy. This one's in sort of good condition. It works, but I think I know it's on its way out because it is starting to flicker a little bit. So it's 34 years old, so what do you expect? But that's enough of the monitor. Let's talk about the computer itself. Computer is in great condition. It still works absolutely fine. But then again, this is 34 years old too. Keyboard still feels great. It's never, far to my knowledge, because this was my mate's originally, because I had one of these back in the day and mine broke. Well overuse. Yeah, I've never taken this apart. As far as I know, this has not been, the back's not come off, it's not been disassembled at all. And yeah, it still works fine, but taking consideration, if it has been used quite a lot, you probably might be doing some work to it. But I'm going to show you some tips how you can prolong the life of the computer. Just little tips here and there. Also, back in the day, the tape data set was starting to go, maybe because of belt slippage. I know this has still got the original belt in it, and it still loads up games absolutely fine. But so that's something else to take into consideration. You will you probably will have to change the belt in this at some point. They don't last forever. They're only elastic. So yeah, but also back in the day, what also went on this was when you push eject, that's quite a fast eject mechanism, and that inside is only plastic. This is only plastic that's and it's starting to squeak already. So my tip is, because that's only made out of plastic, and this does, and this eventually will break. Back in the day mine did. So my advice to you, if you own one of these machines, or in fact a ZX Spectrum 128 Plus 2, because they were made by Amstrad too, when you push the eject button, just make sure you just keep your finger on it so it don't flip up and put no damage and no strain inside where the things, the rails or whatever they're called, can snap, because it's only plastic. So just do that, so it lifts up quite nicely and you don't put no strain on the things. I don't know what they're called, the things that's just holding it in. They're only made of plastic, but just do that. You know, it lasts quite a long time if you do that. And also don't jab the keys down quite hard. You know, I see a lot of people do this. Don't do that. Just nicely do it. And when you push stop, just make sure you just keep your finger on the play so it just comes up nice. Don't jab your keys. I don't know why it's got a pause button. I don't ever recall using a pause button, because it pulls when the game's loaded. It pauses itself, unless it's for recording. I don't know. Yeah, but just little things like that. Just when you eject, just put your finger there. Just make sure it just comes up nicely, so don't put no strain. And yeah, just don't jab the keys, and that'll last longer than you think. For the keyboard, it's quite a nice keyboard. Well then, just don't jab it, because it's an old machine. Just look after it, and you'll probably get quite a long time out of it. But they're my little tips to look after your computer. Well, might be a little bit pointless, but some people will think, wow, okay, that does the trick. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.